And hello there, how are you? I feel like it's been such a minute since we actually had a conversation. Happy Thanksgiving. You know, I did put on my community tab saying happy Thanksgiving, but I know some of us may not have seen it, but happy Thanksgiving, belated, and all the good things. I'm sitting here trying to get my eyebrows done. I have so much content I need to do, and I said, you know what, let's have a chatty moment. I need to show you guys the new room. I did post it on my shorts what this little area over here is looking like, and I did put a picture up on what this area is looking like, but I just want to kind of give you a little room spin around. We'll do that later on so you can kind of like see everything in its entirety. But other than that, how are you doing? What is going on? How are you feeling? Okay, how are you feeling? No shade, no, not being inclusive, but how are my black women feeling? How are you feeling? What is going on? I know that we had a lot going on. I know, a couple of weeks back, I was talking to you and whatnot. I know my channel is very diverse. I appreciate everyone that's here, but right now, as me being a black woman, I feel like it's very important for me to talk to my black sisters, and for us to just have that moment. We're not excluding or anything like that, but just to have that moment right now. And I know a lot of women who aren't black understand. Some understand, and I'm grateful for the ones that are in my life, even if it's here on the good World Wide Web, or if it's in my personal life, that's understanding. So I'm grateful for that. But I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're doing, what is going on, how are you feeling. I know a lot of, look at me holding this pencil. I'm supposed to be doing my eyebrows and I'm sitting here running my mouth, but we talking about something good. How are you feeling though? What is going on? How are you coping? I know right now we are in rest era. We're just chilling out. We're letting everything be. I don't want to get too political, nothing like that, but it was like I told you so, and it's like seeing some people kind of like shocked at his cabinet picks. It's like, who did you think it was gonna be? Okay, who do you think it's gonna be? But I don't want to get political. I know I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, she don't kind of tap into these kind of conversations because she feels like she can't keep up, or she don't know, or whatever. But I feel like for me, when I was younger, I did not know. I did not know. I didn't care. I was like, oh, the world gonna keep going, at the end of the day. And which it does, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times when you are stable in your life and you pretty much set your own world, what goes on really don't affect you. It will affect the people that need certain things. We all need. I'm not gonna sit and say we don't need, and because you never know. Snap of a finger, anybody can be on a line, anybody can be requesting something, anybody can be without, you know what I mean? Just because you got savings and got this and got that, sometimes events can happen and it just happened. You just don't know. But my mom used to always say it didn't matter who was in office. It didn't affect the pay. It didn't affect, the groceries on the table, things like that. And that's how I'm looking at it right now. I mean, there was one point where we thought things was gonna go back crazy. It did, but at the end of the day, life just went on. Life just went on. You saw a lot of people come out the woodwork, and you really saw how the whole like just racist thing, was out and about. But I'd rather know who I'm dealing with than not know. And I've dealt with, forget about like the election or just, I've been in situations where I did not know people's real intentions. I used to be so like la delusional, because I just thought, but then as I got older and people started really sharing their thoughts with me, and I guess trying to like let me know how they felt about me or whatever, I was like, wow, I was only around for whatever I was around for, you know, placeholder. Didn't really, you know, so as I got older, I learned a lot. I think I learned more about myself and other people around me, if it was close, indirect, direct, as I got older. Look, in my 40s, I thought certain things were like bad patches in my 30s and stuff like that, but I really realized, you know, where I stood with people and how people felt about me, and then how I felt about them after a while, you know what I mean? So that right there. But I don't mean to gear off in the conversation, but how are you feeling? Like, what are you working on now? Like, are we working on, I know for me, I'm gonna tap into what I got going on, but what are you working on? Like, I know we in rest era and whatnot, but what is it? Is it like are you doing like self-care? Are you focusing more on your mental health? Are we going to therapy? Or are you just focusing on self-care? Are you going to tap into this new hobby and turn it into a business? Like, what are some things that you're working on? Or, you know, that you're like, you know what, they over here, they good, I'm focusing on me now. I know there's so many different things that I want to work on myself that I've already had in place before all this is going on. But I feel like now I'm gonna put my foot on the pedal even harder. Even harder. So, in saying all of that, I have this book. The book is outside because I've been reading and trying to get like, it's given, like, you know how you have a devotional book? It's like an everyday situation, but this book is only for 90 days. 90 days. It's like a glow up challenge from within. You know, I spoke about that before. If you follow me on my podcast channel, you know that I talk about glow up, but I talk about it from within, because we all can get our hair done, we all can get our nails done, we all can get new outfits and have a whole new appearance, okay? But at the end of the day, it means nothing if your inside is not good. And I can speak that because I experienced that. So I know outer don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. You gotta get that inside good. And then when that inside is good, then the outside will just be shining bright, looking good. And you don't care about much, okay? The things that triggered you and you cared about won't even be a factor. Won't even be a factor, you know. And I understand easier said than done, because it took me a while. It took me a while to get to that point. And sometimes do I have a little, you know, slip up? Absolutely. But yeah, what are you doing? I know for me, I'm focusing on one thing and one thing only. I had made a decision to not do Vlogmas. I will be posting on my main channel, i.e. here, but sometimes when you have your hand in so many things and so much going on, you can't get a grip on it, and you find yourself comparing, imposter syndrome, or self-doubt, because you're looking at somebody else and what they got going on. They might have a whole team or whatever. You can't do that. So I made the executive decision to just focus on my podcast. And I hope you would join me. I do video podcasts, and I also do audio podcasts. So i.e. the new setup. I gotta show you guys. I can't wait. So I'm looking for my my brow stuff. I'm sitting here. Oh, here we go. I'm looking for I got it. Here it go. This is the new it's not new, it's just new to me. This is the NYX Pro Fix Stick. You can like dab it on your face and stuff like that, but I just want to do my brows really quickly, because I'm going to do some foundation content. So I can I'm trying to find my little brush. Okay, I found this brush I've had since I started doing my makeup. I wash it. I changed the tape out because they don't even sell this brush no more. This is when Elf, you know, had the white classic or whatever it's called, classic collection. They don't even have this no more. So what is some new makeup that you've been using? You know, I have a ton of new makeup. You guys know I've been doing a collaboration with Fashion Fair. So I have a ton of makeup I have not even shown you guys yet. I have a lot of stuff from NYX, L'Oreal, Maybelline. You guys know I'm a little drugstore girly. I do love my high end, but I do like my drugstore because I'm a firm believer. If you just take your time, you don't have to break the bank to do makeup. You do not have to break the bank. You can get you a nice, good look with drugstore makeup. And half the time, these companies are owned by drugstore brands. Like prime example, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. You know what? I'm not even gonna share that because I think I'm right, but I think I'm gonna be wrong. One of these drugstore brands are their parent company is the drugstore brand, or the high-end company has the drugstore brand under their umbrella. Don't get me. I don't want to share which one I think it is, but yeah. So you can get good makeup from the drugstore. Is it a more trial and error situation? Absolutely, because you have to, like, you know, take it home, try it out and whatnot. I had a cheat code to drugstore makeup, and I'm going to tell you my cheat code. I found someone on YouTube who I felt we were like kind of the same complexion, right? And she was a very, very popular, she is still a very, very popular YouTuber. So I knew I wasn't in the business to buying 4 or 5 foundations at one time just to get my match. So she was doing it. I have a trick. It's like, hey, I'm not doing all that work. I'm not. And she would be the one to go out and buy like 4 or 5 or 2 foundations, and then she would do all the reviews, and she'd be swatching them on her face or her décolleté or on her hand and whatnot. And the one that she picked was always the one that was the best shade for me, because we could take them on the same complexion. So I've been very good with always getting my foundation. I find someone that has a similar skin tone and undertone like me. And that's what I recommend for you ladies when you're looking for foundations, especially when it comes to drugstore foundation, because you don't want to go to the store and be buying a bunch of foundations, because at the end of the day, that crap is costly. Yes, you can go return it, but at the end of the day, you gotta get up, you gotta go do that. Find you somebody, i.e., like, it's a lot of ladies who are my skin complexion, right? And if you know, I go ask you, I can't even get it out. You ask me, or I'll share the shade in the description, or I'll share it out loud, and you can just go and get the foundation. You know, that's how I see it. This brow came out amazing. Let me take this robe off. This brow came out amazing. I am loving this brow, and I like this cream concealer because it's reminding me of like MAC Studio Fix concealer or Studio concealer, because it's nice and creamy. It's giving like that pot. It's nice and creamy. So this brow did good. So getting back to what I was talking about, you know, I want to just know how you feeling, what you got going on. And I know you may feel like the climate is kind of like either hot or the climate is cold. Always know to focus on yourself. In this climate that we're in right now, focus on yourself and control what you can and not what you can't. You know, sometimes we feel that, you know, we can kind of control the narrative. Don't control the narrative. Let the narrative be what it is, especially if it's not if you can't, sometimes we know we can't control certain things, but we try to, you know, be optimistic and whatnot. Sometimes it's just like, look, let this go. And oh man, look at these brows. All right, Kelly, I gotta fix this, y'all. Okay, I got it together. The best that I could. But yeah, just focus on you. Focus on one thing. There's this book out called The One Thing. And you know, sometimes we get so caught up in wanting to do so much in our life. And right now we're in a climate where, you know, so many of us are feeling some kind of way, you know. I was like going through a lot of my comments from that video that I did about Black women, and it was so many people that had said a lot of good comments, but it was a few bad comments where it was like, what make you think as a Black woman that you were a priority? You ain't never been a priority. And I just was like, people are really evil. People are so evil. People are just evil. And that's how you know a lot of stuff is just taught. And they look at it the same way how we look at what's our history. Being hateful is their history. And being hateful, it was just like, wow. You know, it didn't get me down or nothing like that. It just made me think. And it also made me think about the people that are in my life who are not Black. Like, do you feel like this? Are you just showing face because because some people can be around you but still get to their dining room table and have a totally different conversation. You know what I mean? You guys know. But we're gonna get off of that. I just want to know how the 92% was doing. I just want to know how you was doing. That is it. And I want to do my brows with you. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to just check in with you because, you know, we did have a lot going on. And if you feel like you are struggling during this time, it's okay. It's normal. And you know, having feelings and having emotions, all that is normal. If you want to have more wider conversation about things like this, if it's talking about self-care, if it's talking about just like aging graceful, you know, because a lot of us women, you know, we range from so many different ages, but we can all relate. Come on over, hang out with your girl. I do have a podcast. It's called We Age Graceful. This is for ladies who are new, who's just stumbling upon me. I have a second channel. If you go down in the description, you will see it. And we have more in-depth conversations just about us as women, you know, starting over. Because sometimes people think you're supposed to just know it all and have it all together. And you can have it all together or have a foundation. But sometimes life events will come in and just ruin, shake, or do whatever. So in saying all of that, you know, we can have these conversations, you know, over there. We can have them over here too, because we will be having some good conversations. I've had some really cute things lined up, and I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being here. I want to thank everyone who commented under that video. The video, I'll link it somewhere, you know, in the cards. It was called Black Women We Don't Have to Fight Anymore. And I also want to say thank you for all the women that I have met from that video, who came over here from that video. Thank you. I appreciate you. And we are going to keep it going. And yeah, that's all I can think of right now. You know, as we go, we will just be pouring into each other, you know, directly, indirectly. But yeah, come on over, hang out with your girl, and you know, we'll go from there. Now let me get back to my work. I gotta get some content done. I'm sitting here, one in my mouth. I do need to get some content done. So I'll catch you in the next one.